Good evening, folks. Reverend Savannah Treewalker here with the Order of the Standing Oak and Theophilus Jessup of the Raven Temple of CX Wicca. And today we're going to begin a series on Wiccan ritual. And this is the first one in our series. And today we are talking about Wiccan ritual elements. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of give you guys a blow-by-blow demonstration, as it were, of what you can do to, design and work through your own Wiccan rituals. Now, just as a disclaimer, this is the way I practice. Not every Wiccan out there does everything the same. This is just one way to do it. So just having said that, it's like I'm not speaking that this is the way for every Wiccan that works ritual. And we're going to talk about, today we're going to talk about the elements of what you need and what you don't need and stuff. Like right now, this video, we're focused on our temple altar. And this is our space where we come together to work rituals. And one thing is, there's a variety of ways that you can do this. First off, you can do rituals indoors, you can do rituals outdoors, you can do it on your own property, you can do rituals in public parks because we've done it, and stuff. So that's the main thing. You have the ability to do rituals indoors or outdoors. Now, if you're doing a ritual indoors, it's up to you to find a space that you would like to work your rituals in. It could be a dining room, it could be a corner of your bedroom, it could be a whole room in your house dedicated as a temple. We have a pretty good sized space here, and you will see it in upcoming videos. And we're kind of going to give you guys the the way that we do this. First off, our first video that we will be doing will kind of talk about Wiccan ritual, and we'll talk about designing your altar space, things like that. And then the next thing that we will get into is the casting of the circle. And then after the casting of the circle, we will discuss the calling of the quarters, the watchtowers. And then after that, we will discuss what you can design and place within your own ritual for whatever it is that you want to do. There are two types of ritual. There's actually more than one type, but the main ones that we focus on Wiccan tradition are the Esbats and the Sabbats. Esbats are full and new moons of each month, and the Sabbats are the quarters and cross quarters of the wheel of the year. Beltane, Samhain, Mabon, all of that. And we will discuss the invocations of the god and goddess, because for Wicca it is a religious tradition. So we do have the idea of male and female polarity, but not every Wiccan group does. There are gay and lesbian groups that have their own ways. So it's like I'm saying, this is just the way that I know. And I have been going at this since the early 90s, actually. And it was, just learning the process. One of the things was, before I designed my first ritual, was the idea of, like, I was scared. I thought, oh my God, if I mess this up, the gods are going to be all upset and whatever. So it was like, I was scared. I didn't know that, everything, ritual and stuff is a thing that you practice. And, you can't really be perfect right off the bat. You know what I mean? So that's why, we start off new in a religious tradition. And then eventually, over time, over the years and what have you, then we do, eventually we become, more adept at what we do. And one of these things that I see a lot of are people that, may not have access to a lot of books on Wiccan witchcraft and stuff like that. So it's good to be able to show them what these things look like. Another thing is, if you are deciding that you do want to start designing rituals, one thing that I highly recommend that you get is some kind of a journal or what have you, whatever kind of book that you want to get. And like what we have right there on the altar, the book that you see just in front of the candle is our Book of Shadows. And the Book of Shadows is where you write down spells, rituals, chants, music, everything magical that you want to have available for yourself to include in your, traditional, your Esbats and your Sabbats. And I think after this series is over, we will talk about the different traditional. What I'm going to be doing is whenever we do this, I'm just going to show you the general way to do these. Okay? But to get into more heathen practice, our CX Wicca, some other traditions and things like that. And we may just do different, we may disseminate and put out to you 4 or 5 different circle castings by tradition, because not every witchcraft and Wiccan traditions follow everything exactly the same. There are going to be all kinds of deviations and stuff like that. Pardon the noise, we have trains that run through here all the time, which we have right now. Also, you might want to figure out, whenever you're designing a ritual, what is the purpose of the ritual? Are you celebrating a certain god or goddess, or are you working to open yourself up magically to reach the outer and higher spiritual realms and things like that? So whenever you're designing a ritual, it's a good idea to, think ahead of time what it is that you want, and what the outcome of the ritual is, and then that way it gives you a framework. And like I say, if you are scared, everybody has to start somewhere, and taking it easy, working with the basics and what have you, it's just a good place to start. So we're going to show you, like I said, we're going to talk about setting up your altar, the reason why we set up an altar a certain way, all of the weapons of ritual, statuary, candles, all of it. We're going to talk about that, and then I will just show you circle casting, calling of the quarters, a main body of a ritual, cakes and ale, a hail and farewell for the quarters at the end of the ritual, and then just talk about what we thought, how it goes, and that kind of thing, because and also how to earth the energy at the end. It's like we're all going to have different feelings about what the ritual was when we did it. So it's also a good idea to have like a magical journal in which you write down your feelings about things that you practice and that you do during your ritual times. So we're going to be talking about that. So keep an eye out. The first video, and they're not going to be super duper long. This video is not even going to be super duper long. But each video is going to be part of a continuing series. So our very first video that we are going to put out after this is basically your introduction, letting you know that you can do ritual, that you can think up what it is that you want to do, considering whether you're working for an Esbat or a Sabbat, and then all of the tools and things that you'll need or not need. It just depends on you, but just showing you a way of doing things. Also, I want to say to everyone out there, come and check us out, Raven Temple of CX Wicca on Facebook. Also check out our Missouri Druid School. It is the Facebook page for our group, Order of the Standing Oak. And also you can email me, Sylvanus93, Sylvanus93 at hotmail.com, if you have any questions. And to everyone that's been subscribing to the channel, I just want to thank you guys. You are so awesome. We're working our way up to 1,000 subscribers. So like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know, this is for you. This is for our community. And I hope you like the idea of this series, because if you do, let me know in the comments, because if you do, we will go into different areas of magic. We may do some magical demonstrations, some divinatory rituals and things like that, and let you guys see, you know, just something that goes beyond the normal, you know, lore and things that we see from other channels on YouTube and stuff. So we're going to try to take it into a different realm. So having said that, like I say, give the channel a chance. Like, comment, subscribe. Check us out on Facebook. And also we have a Substack. And we also have a Pagan Perspective on Spotify. All of our podcast episodes. So until next time, blessed be.